For our Caribbean brothers and sisters, where tourism accounts for more than 30% of total GDP, economic growth is expected to drop by 1%. These numbers, Excellencies, reflect a dire economic situation for ACP countries. In addition to COVID-19, many of our countries are also simultaneously tackling other challenges. For us in the Eastern African region, we are experiencing an invasion of desert locusts as well as floods, while in the Caribbean and Pacific, the devastating effects of rising ocean water and the impacts attributed to the effects of climate change have continued to cause severe destruction. Almost all of our countries are struggling with a heavy debt burden that reduces fiscal room for maneuver. It is estimated that OACP's countries will require between 50 to 60 billion US dollars in 2020 to meet their international debt obligations. A core objective of our organization, therefore, is to serve as a forum for formulating and coordinating common positions on global issues, and COVID-19 is indeed one of those. We need to invoke this objective and affirm the OACP's solidarity and cooperation in mitigating the effects of COVID-19 pandemic for all our member states. I am really delighted to preside over the virtual summit of our Organization of African, Caribbean and Pacific States that is being held currently amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. When we met with some of you in December of 2019, we made the Nairobi Nguvu Pamoja Declaration. We didn't at that time realize just how important our strength would be in working together. Indeed, it is a challenging time for all of us, but I believe that together we will overcome. Your Excellencies, the COVID-19 pandemic has caused major economic and social disruptions across the entire globe and has posed serious public health challenges and slowed down economic activity. As of the 31st of May 2020, persons within the Organization of African, Caribbean and Pacific States reported infected by this disease were about 112,243, with approximately 3,026 deaths. While these numbers may seem relatively low in the context of the global numbers, the impact of COVID-19 on our economies is disproportionately high and in some cases has been totally devastating. Our industries have been hard hit especially, and our countries, especially those who focus a lot on aviation, travel, tourism, and trade, economic disruptions in the European Union, which amounts for about 50% of ACP countries' exports, have also been disrupted through disruption of their supply chains. And in Africa, our economic growth is projected to decline from 2.4% in 2019 to between negative 2.1% and negative 5.1% in this year, 2020. At our individual national levels, COVID-19 has led to a shrinking of fiscal space, while at the international level, the pandemic has weakened the pipeline of resources dedicated to development programs, because countries that traditionally provide overseas development assistance are also suffering from the effects of the pandemic. The debt of many of our member states continue to rise. 44% of low-income and least developed countries are in debt distress or are assessed as being at high risk of external debt distress. COVID-19 and related global economic shocks will only exacerbate the problem. If one of us fails, we all fail. We can only win this battle if we win it together. This is the time for solidarity. and I think our organization is 100% behind the work and the efforts of the World Health Organization, and they can continue to count on our support. I want to thank all our other development partners, the European Union, who is our lead partner of our organization. I think a good deal has come through. We thank you also for your continued support, but we also want to echo some of the sentiments that have been expressed by some of our partners, Barbados, Seychelles, Jamaica was on the same position, and many others who participated have really emphasized this point of consultation. Consultation, because the true and the truest form of partnership is consultation. And I really would encourage the European Union, really our key partner, and who has supported and worked with us very closely, that we want to improve this issue of dialogue, consultation, as we move forward so that we are moving together. I want to make a special vote of thanks to the Prime Minister of Canada, the Prime Minister of Norway, the President of France, the Prime Minister of Australia, but in particular those three, because you have ever been strong supporters of our agenda, of our development course. Canada, France, Norway, you have been very strong pillars. But again, I want to echo what Prime Minister Motley said. We also need the others to come on board.